Well, John, I know you miss North Carolina, and let me tell you, today the weather has been particularly weird. And
Don't
before you
want to
say
hear it.
North Carolina, it's always weird. I mean, for North Carolina, it was weird.
Again, I've talked to folks back home today. They've complained like, "Oh my God, it was snowing when I woke up," and the only thing I can say is I don't want to hear it.
No, no.
It-
Let me tell you. Let me tell you exactly how the day went because I had to be at work at 7 in the morning, and when I have to be at work at 7 in the morning on a Sunday, I have to walk, which takes the better part of 2 hours.
Mhm.
I am the only person of our generation who can honestly say, yes, I walk 6 miles to work. Anyway, sometimes in the snow. And as John can attest, sometimes that's better than using a car.
Especially North Carolina.
Yeah. Well, I can say with complete certainty it was warmer before the sun went down than after the sun went up. It snowed for roughly about an hour, give or take, and it came down heavy. Like, I'm used to seeing this kind of snow regularly in Alaska. It just stopped. And within an hour, you'd have no idea it snowed. In fact, it kind of looked like it did the next day after a light rain.
Mm-hmm.
It was still a little freezing, but by the time I got home, it was kind of warm.
Yeah, I've told several folks today, I don't want to hear it. I woke up, it was -2 with a -25 wind chill. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, once again, remember, it's me, John. You know I could care less. I'm from Alaska, for fuck's sake. I've been saying for years, this state has not known cold yet.
I've learned cold. I've learned cold well.
I know. You're in Iowa in -0 degree weather.
I find it funny that I get, called crazy for sitting outside on the porch at my coffee shop here in -10 degree weather. And I have to remind people, I'm not even from here. I'm from the South. I understand layering.
What are you talking about? You're already 3 layers naked.
Exactly. I understand layering.
Oh, wait. Do we have a do we looks like there's a blue
And we have a Jixie.
There we go.
Hi.
It's a Jixie. We're wondering where you guys were at.
I had to restart the computer.
Hey, it's not my week for technical issues.
You're just in time to get us started. Welcome, everybody, to High Class Geek News, where we can put anything that's important so we can instead talk about the news you actually give a shit about. I'm your friendly neighborhood geekazoid, Evan Ransom. With me today is the Dwarficon, John Little.
Sup?
Yeah, I actually remember it now. And everybody's favorite geek couple, Jixie.
Hello.
Hi.
What looks like a Pippin
The cat
on the
can
couch.
talk.
Kira.
Oh, it's Kira? Yay, Kira!
Mm-hmm.
Tonight's episode, Death Needs a Holiday.
Yeah.
No fucking shit.
2016, brought to you by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, that's a
Joss
huge
Whedon.
joke. I now currently have, and these people are all my Facebook friends so they can confirm this, a cover photo of Neil Gaiman's Sandman sitting on a park bench next to his sister, who is Death, saying, "Take a break, sis." I feel it sums up our feelings more than anything else this week.
I even shared your cover photo.
Yeah.
We have so much death that, one, it really does seem like this year was written by George R. R. Martin, and two, we are going to start the episode with the obituaries so we could get them out of the way and move on to the funny. We're going to get the most depressing bits first so that we can make you happy for the rest of the night because we all need that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting with David Bowie at age 69.
Take
And
your
if you
hat
don't
off.
know who David Bowie is, fuck you.
Right.
I actually tried to watch The Labyrinth and cried like a fucking baby.
Well, to be
I
fair,
couldn't
you were
even
crying like a
finish
baby
watching.
because that penis was beautiful.
That movie is the reason I have the nickname I have. Like,
We all have our Bowie moments.
that one hurt so
That
bad.
one, most of us children of the 80s, that one hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're Hispanic, this one probably hurts you. Colombian television actor Carlos Munoz Sanchez passed away at 72. If you're an Archie fan, a fan of children's literature, or just like people who take their disabilities and decide to own it, Jewel Katz, age 37, passed away. She was a children's author and the inspiration for the character Harper Lodge, who appeared in Archie Comics. At the age of 9, she was in a car accident, which left her needing either a crutch or a wheelchair to get around. Rather than treating this like a burden, she owned it and basically was a role model to the disabled. Michael Galeota, age 31, Disney Channel television and TV film star. Oh, this one hurts too. David Margulies, age 78. Character actor, known mostly for, I think, his theater work, but we know him as the mayor in Ghostbusters. Fuck. Age 69, Alan Rickman.
Oh, that one hurt bad too.
How you know Alan Rickman is dependent on how old you are.
Man, I hadn't even gotten I love doing Alan Rickman impressions when I'm drunk. And I hadn't even perfected one. And
If you're 25 or younger, you probably know him as Professor Snape. If you're old as hell like us, Hans Gruber.
That's right. Gotta fall off the Nagomi Tower, man.
And if your film history is funny like mine, you first knew him as the Sheriff of Nottingham. And damn it, he was the best Sheriff of Nottingham in film.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Of course, in my mind, that's immediately followed by the guy in Robin Hood Men in Tights, but that's another story altogether. Apologies if I mispronounced this. The name Angelil, age 73. The husband of Celine Dion and a big part for her success. Brian Bedford, age 80. Remember earlier how I mentioned Alan Rickman was the Sheriff of Nottingham? Brian Bedford was the voice of Robin Hood for the Disney animated film.
I still love it.
It is not a good time in Sherwood Forest. I am not kidding when I say this. One of my earliest crushes in life, Annette Funicello, age 70, passed away. She was one of the first generation Mouseketeers. Starred in several of those weird beach films from like the 60s and 70s. And basically was a spokesmodel for MS research as she basically spent most of her life suffering with that. Speaking of tragedies, Tara Ray Static, age 33. Model, actress, widow. I'm not going to get into how it looks like she passed out of respect. Dan Haggerty, age 74. Who you may know as Grizzly Adams from back in the day. At age 61, Phil Taylor, the drummer for Motorhead. Because this has not been the best year for Motorhead.
Yeah.
No.
And finally, this is one that personally affects me. Robert Banks Stewart, age 84, television writer, including at least 2 well-known stories from Doctor Who, The Seeds of Doom, and the Zygon Invasion, or Terror of the Zygons. And I will say right now that Seeds of Doom is the only Doctor Who story to genuinely disturb me.
That's saying something for you.
Yeah. You know the kind of movies I watch. I don't get disturbed easy. For those keeping track, that is a grand total of 13 deaths.
Just cut it out already, Death, please. It's a little too much.
Take a break. Hang out in the tropics for a bit. Have a Mai Tai. Relax.
Please.
Maybe get laid.
We need to make a circle of protection around Peter Cullen.
I'm fearing for Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. I am genuinely worried this year may be the last year, if I can arrange it, that I can see Stan Lee. If he is coming anywhere near this date, please, anybody let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm so glad we are done with that. Let's move on to the kind of news I like to talk about. John, in film news, I got good news. I got news we've been waiting a long time to hear.
What's that?
Uwe Boll quits.
I'll believe it when, you know what? When he is dead and in the grave, I'll believe Uwe Boll quit.
Well, he says he's
exactly.
retired
Or
from filming.
like Saddam Hussein and like get a really shitty fucking video of it and like have his eyeballs popped out.
I mean,
Well,
let's be honest here. It's Uwe Boll.
For the foreseeable future, no more shitty movies from Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
Michael Bay, take note.
Fuck you, Michael Bay. There.
I don't think I have any Michael Bay news this week.
Oh, then.
Good.
Well.
They're watching Battle.
Okay, Death. If you need to take somebody.
There you go.
Michael Bay.
It'll be the happiest.
This is for us giving you all the good ones. Take some shitty ones, please.
Really? I just confirmed that the X-Men spin-off film Gambit will start filming in March. I have to say, I was minorly concerned about Channing Tatum playing Gambit until
you saw Hateful Eight.
He is amazing in that movie.
Totally agree.
Oh, God. Now I'm like, I am ready for this now.
Okay.
The Russo brothers, who will be directing the next two Avengers film, have confirmed the total number of characters that will be in the Infinity War. You guys ready for this?
It better be a good one.
67. I see a lot of cameos in those films' future.
I'm just trying to think, okay, how many spin-off films are we going to be dealing with here shortly?
It's the Marvel Universe.
True.
I won't believe they scraped the bottom of the barrel until I get a Power Pack movie. And you want to hear something funny? I actually really want a Power Pack movie.
About as much as you want an Alpha Flight movie?
Alpha Flight's not really bottom of the barrel. It's getting close to it. That's where you can see the bottom through the scotch that was put in there, through the whiskey I meant that was put in there. But you're not quite there yet.
Yeah, we're not scraping the bottom until Dazzler gets her own film.
No, Dazzler is 20th Century Fox. No, we shouldn't get really worried until they get around to doing Cloak and Dagger.
Wait. Old Cloak and Dagger or new Cloak and Dagger?
Old Cloak and Dagger. Well, actually, no, make that new Cloak and Dagger. Old Cloak and Dagger was actually pretty good.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to switch back over to my computer now that it's restarted and updated, and hopefully I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Well, as news that will be of extreme interest to John and thereby entertain me that he's not here to listen to, Disney has confirmed that they will be releasing on home video the original unaltered cuts of the Star Wars trilogy.
Oh.
This
So,
definitely could be good.
just a reminder, Han shot first.
There's no argument. I mean, I still have the original trilogy box set from when I was a kid.
VHS?
Like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
right
right over
there.
here on my bookshelf, actually. It's probably got a little cameo appearance. But yeah, I got it when I was 6 years old, and I treasured it.
I can only imagine the state those videos must be in now.
Oh no, they're actually in pretty good condition. I've watched them. You know.
And the back.
Hey.
You missed nothing, John. The Dalian Wanda Group company has bought Legendary Entertainment. For those wondering, Legendary Entertainment is basically anything with Christopher Nolan's name on it has been co-funding and producing those films, including all of the Dark Knight trilogy, like Inception, several others they tend to pop up into that don't come immediately to mind. Dalian Wanda Group Company is a Chinese conglomerate, making this the biggest Chinese Hollywood business deal ever.
No, that should be interesting.
John is speechless. For a while there, it looked like people were saying George Miller will not be making any Mad Max films. So 24 to 48 hours for George Miller to say, are you guys idiots? Of course there will be more Mad Max films.
Yeah, we kind of need more Mad Max films.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I haven't put this on the list, but the nominees for the Oscars are out, and they did something right. Mad Max, 10 nominations.
Huzzah! God knows it fucking deserves them.
I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm crossing my fingers that one of those nominations is Best Picture, because that is the movie of 2015 as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. And if Charlize Theron doesn't at least get a nod for frickin' Best Actress, I'll be disappointed.
No shit. Let's see, the Narnia series is starting back up again.
Oh God,
They
why?
starting with the Silver Chair.
Oh God, why, people?
Yeah.
Because some franchises never die, John.
Some need
Because
to.
strong Christian undertones is exactly what this world needs right now.
Well, that's why we have Charlie
That's why
Brown.
we got a Peanuts movie.
Zarg.
The comic book series Sex Castle will be produced as a Fox film by the Russo brothers.
Why have I never heard of this comic series?
No.
I didn't either, but just the title makes me kind of want to see it and want to read it.
I mean, with a title like Sex Castle, it has to be good.
You hope so.
Who wants some really good news that's going to make you guys happy?
Yo.
I would love good news.
James Gunn has confirmed that he has finished the final draft for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Hey!
About fucking time.
That does make me happy.
Hey guys, you know what you guys love?
Hmm.
Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't?
Some of the advertisement for the billboards and stuff are just amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to bring up. The billboard that has a picture of a skull,
Pooh.
a poo, and the letter L.
Oh god, I love it so much.
There's this whole Valentine's Day campaign they started where they're basically trying to make Deadpool look romantic.
Actually, one of the things I've seen recently about Deadpool that makes me just kind of laugh is the petition floating around to have a special for the kids version cut to make it PG-13.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I was like, really?
I like the
It
idea
is
of
what it is.
the version being almost exactly the same. They just reduced the time on the sex scene and bleep out the cuss words.
Yeah, or
You mean
how
made
about
for
you just I was gonna say, how about you just kind of grow a pair, and if your kid's 13, take them to go see it, because chances are they've seen the same on whatever programs they watch on cable.
Dude, by the time I was 13, I've already seen the first two Lethal Weapon movies. It's good.
Yeah.
But honestly, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most are the parents who weren't paying attention to the campaign,
Oh
who think it's for kids because it's based off a comic book.
I know the only thing that reminds me of is taking my mom to go see Avenue Q.
Oh,
If you've never seen Avenue Q, ever heard of it, it is basically a very fucked up version of Sesame Street. It was on Broadway. And it was so delightful to watch the parents that didn't pay attention to the giant billboards and the people at the ticket counter saying this show is not intended for children walk their children out during intermission, or even better, the parents that had to sit there and explain things to their children. I remember I was sitting there with my mom, and there was these two parents talking to their 12-year-old daughter, and it was after the puppet porn scene, and they're just like, well, honey, this is not how we wanted you to learn about the birds and the bees, but that's kind of how it works. Ignore the finger thing.
Speaking of kids, as you know, a few months ago, a little movie called Goosebumps came out.
Oh, it did? Yeah, I did.
And apparently this inspired a man named Guillermo del Toro saying, you call that a literary horror franchise for kids? No. I'll show you a literary horror franchise for kids. Which is why he's confirmed that he's developing for film scary stories to tell in the dark.
Which I'm looking forward to. Because I still remember being absolutely terrified by the illustrations alone.
Yeah, it's annoying. You gotta find like a third-person seller to get a version with the original illustrations now.
I know. You gotta hunt through.
I'm going to bitch slap the hell out of the publisher who said do new drawings. Seriously. It was like some of the most textural artistry I'd ever seen on anything in my life. It literally felt like it could ooze or grip onto your fingers.
Oh, absolutely.
It was like just... I was strangely terrified to touch the pictures.
Yeah. But I fucking loved that one. Oh. I loved it.
Jumanji has a director.
Do we need another Jumanji film?
No, we do not.
Yeah, Jake Kasdan, who did Walk Hard, is the director of Jumanji. Is Why God Why. J.J. Abrams, I have to commend you, sir. When you want to keep a secret, you know how to keep a fucking secret. In the internet age. I mean, you make a movie featuring John Goodman and what is the name of that girl from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World? I cannot remember. Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And we don't find out about it until you release the trailer, and it's a sequel to Cloverfield.
Yeah. Pretty fucking amazing.
How the hell did you do that in the internet age? Oh, I know how he did it. He had everybody looking at Star Wars.
Misdirection.
All I can say is...
Golf clap.
Wow. Another trailer? A new teaser for Zoolander.
Zoolander #2.
I know.
I remember going to see the first one in theaters. Oh, God.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of Zoolander, but these trailers make me want to see the second one.
Yeah, seeing as it comes out the same weekend as Deadpool, don't think I'm gonna catch that one.
Oh, I can't wait for Deadpool. God, I'm so excited.
What a doctor that would make.
Speaking of movies we don't need, Chris Carter has confirmed that he's written a third X-Files movie.
I don't even... I haven't seen that movie.
Every once in a while, you just need to let a franchise die, and that's one of them.
Speaking of which, Flash Gordon is getting rewrites.
Why?
Mark Yarosevich for an upcoming Fox movie.
Again, I swear 2016 is just going to be the year of re-releases.
Here's some news that makes me annoyed. Connie Nielsen has been cast as Hippolyta for Wonder Woman. Notice how she's not Linda Carter.
Or at least Lucy Lawless. And see, this is why DC is going to fuck themselves when it comes to the theater, because DC, A, you don't listen to your fucking fans. B, you take yourself way too fucking seriously. C, you don't listen to your fucking fans.
You forgot D.
They don't listen to
They
their.
don't work with their other departments. Marvel's consolidated effort. They connect the movies, the television, they get the comics going so that they promote them. DC, Warner Brothers keeps movies and television separate, and neither one of them touches the comics in any way, shape, or form. It's fucking ludicrous. Marvel's a force. DC is a swimmer with a couple of those tubes on its arms, trying to stay afloat.
True.
Need my floaties.
Moving on to television, and speaking of DC, where DC's doing much better, Vixen has been approved for a second season of its animated show on CW Seed, and they are teasing the possibility they might do a live-action series down the line.
I have not even watched the animated one yet. I may have to check that out. Is it on Netflix or Hulu?
CWC. It's their online-only thing.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Speaking of the CW, guess who's making a return to Supernatural? Jim Beaver
Dick?
and Stephen Williams.
Okay.
Bobby.
Oh, that's right. Bobby's coming back.
And I wish I could remember the name of Stephen Williams' character, but he's the other old hunter who's the black guy.
Rufus.
Yeah, thank you, Rufus. They're one of the best double acts on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if it's a flashback or what have you, but it makes me happy.
See, they should totally get their own spin-off.
Yeah. Speaking of things that make me happy, we have a new casting confirmation for The Flash. Battlestar Galactica's Aaron Douglas will be appearing as the Turtle. And he is definitely one of my favorite actors from that show. As well as a couple of new pics of Daniel Panabaker as Killer Frost.
Huzzah!
Moving on to Supergirl. Former Supergirl Laura Vandervoort will be playing Indigo, the supercomputer in Supergirl. That show I don't watch.
One of the few we recommend that no one watches.
Yeah, after 3 episodes, I couldn't do it. I hear it's improved, but I refuse to. I don't. No. Too much damage has been done. Speaking of damaged goods, Legends of Tomorrow has revealed that one character will be making an appearance in an upcoming episode. Jonah Hex.
Nice. We'll have to see how this one goes.
Yeah. My only complaint is that it's, for obvious reasons, not Josh Brolin, who, as many problems as there were with that movie, he was perfect.
Now, I'll agree with you. There is one person I think could have done it better. Ron Perlman. Can't really disagree with that. Actually, no, wait. There's somebody who could have done it better than Perlman or Brolin.
Clint Eastwood?
Sam Elliott.
Oh, God. You know, I still don't know. I'd have to see they'd all have to do, casting reels for me.
Well, the problem with Sam Elliott is he'd have to shave his mustache off, and anytime he shaves the mustache off, it just looks weird.
Is there any way you can keep the mustache on but we can still fuck up your face? Anyway.
Oh, yeah. That's easy to do. That's makeup. We can do that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, television comedy has been nice to us geeks. First, there was Jimmy Kimmel, which gave us 2 moments. One was the X-Files skit, where Jimmy Kimmel played an FBI agent who felt a need to update Mulder and Scully on the 21st century, since they haven't been doing this since the 90s. My favorite bit is at the end where he's just like, you two really should have sex. Like, we all know.
Just get it over with.
Yeah. Also, on Conan O'Brien, Patton Oswalt made an appearance and basically explained what watching Star Wars is like. Using the analogy of the original trilogy is where we're all young and in our 20s and we're high on coke and drinking and we're just having a grand old time. And then he says the new trilogy is we start to sober up and we start talking about politics and trade federations and we're like, what the hell happened? And says The Force Awakens is like when you've had a really bad divorce and you're immediately like, let's get all the blow and get drunk.
Like, let's harken back to the good old days.
Yeah. And finally, I have new respect for Adam Driver thanks to the Kylo Ren undercover boss skit from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Just watched that happening. Oh, God.
He understood perfectly that the key to the comedy of that skit was to keep playing Kylo Ren straight.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was... Oh.
That whole episode of SNL was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I haven't watched SNL in a very long time, and I was glad that just watching that skit almost made me consider to start watching again.
I think SNL succeeds mainly today because if you sit down and think about it, even from its very first episode, it was always kind of made for the internet age.
Yeah, it was always a little ahead of its time.
I mean, it's just, hey, there's a skit. Put it online, good. It's confirmed that Heroes Reborn will not be getting a second season.
Yay!
As well as a campaign going on, fully being supported by 2000 AD, called Bring Back Dread, with hopes of turning it into a TV show. I need to track down that petition and sign it.
As much as I love Carl Urban, no.
Let's see. Jeff Johns, the #1 cheerleader for DC Comics, not named Kevin Smith, has pretty much confirmed that the Legion of Superheroes will be popping up on one of the DC shows, but hasn't said which one. My money's on Supergirl.
Well, it needs something.
Well, she's the one with the most connection to the Legion of Superheroes out of the shows they got going. Scream Queens has been renewed for a second season, and... oh, frack me. Jamie Lee Curtis is coming back.
I'm sorry, I love that show for two reasons. One, it's a fucking brilliant show. And two, I have a friend who's an extra on there, and it's always nice to see her on TV.
I got some news that's going to make you guys squeal.
Good squeal or bad squeal?
They have cast the narrator for the upcoming live remake of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
I will admit, I squealed just a little bit when I heard this.
Tim Curry.
Well, who else can do it? I mean, come on.
I'm just happy we're getting at least one more performance out of him.
He's been through a lot, so...
Which is funny because it's the one thing he hates.
And finally, if you're a fan of Netflix, this has been a week for you. One, for the upcoming series of unfortunate events series, they have cast Count Olaf, who will be played by Neil Patrick Harris.
I know.
Oh, God.
Man.
Simpsons creator Matt Groening has been tapped to do a new animated comedy series exclusively for Netflix. Hints, people, he won't be constrained on content.
Well, of course not.
Let's hope not.
Which means it will be the Simpsons we all deserved. We'll get early '90s Simpsons again. You know, back when it was still good.
The show that John and I love and Jixie was not impressed by, Jessica Jones, has been renewed for a second season.
I know. Yay.
And finally, for television news, apparently John Bernthal must be doing a damn fine job on those shots in season 2 of Daredevil, because Netflix is already considering a spin-off for The Punisher.
Sweet.
Let's keep in mind, this isn't something from their original Marvel contract. They're going outside of the box saying, well, let's make a show out of this guy.
Nice.
You gotta love when somebody does geekdom so well, they're like, you know what, we're gonna give you a show.
I'm hoping The Punisher is the one where they're like, look, we know we've been like sort of going on the edge for the adult stuff, but this is The Punisher. We're going to go all out. We're going to have the boobies, the cussing, everything.
It's like, this is Netflix. Have fun.
Yeah, it's Punisher. Punisher always does best when you don't even pretend it's made for kids.
Yeah, welcome to The Punisher. You don't have to deal with the FCC. Have fun.
Yeah. Video game news. We got a new gameplay trailer for Mortal Kombat X, and I really want to play as Leatherface now.
Yeah.
I hate to say, for me, Mortal Kombat's kind of going away to Smash, where it's just, yes, you're excited about the huge roster, but by the same token, you're like, really, guys? The fuck? We're throwing, villains.
Have you seen this trailer?
I've seen the trailers, and I'm not impressed.
But Leatherface's moves are so awesome.
Yeah, but you know what? Who should have been in there that's not? Pinhead.
Yeah.
He should never be less than the main villain for an entire game.
Again, throw Pinhead in there, then I'll be happy. You can throw Leatherface, you can throw Jason, you can throw Freddy Krueger in there. Don't fucking care. You throw Pinhead in there, now we got a game.
Yeah, it's a limited, oh man.
Oh, God. Each stage of the game is you figuring out the puzzle box a little bit more. Any Amazon Prime members here other than myself?
I think you're the only one.
Oh, well then I'm the only one who's going to be saving 20% on new video game releases.
I'd just say 15.
Also, a new character for Fallout 4 has been revealed, who is very clearly based off of Mexican actor and uber badass Danny Trejo.
God.
Because more video games need Danny Trejo. More everything needs Danny Trejo. There is not enough Danny Trejo in our lives.
Still can't believe he's a fucking vegan.
Yeah. All pre-orders for the new Hitman game have been revoked. The publisher of the game says that this is not because the game's not happening, but because they feel they need a little more time to get it right.
Well, at least the publisher's taking responsibility for that. So many publishers will just put the game out and not fucking care and just, oh, well, we got some bugs to work out, and then, release, update after update after update, and by the time you actually get to a fucking functional game, you don't fucking care about the game anymore.
Let's see. Dungeons & Dragons has started the Dungeon Masters Guild, where it allows you to go ahead and publish freely all the stories that come out of the campaigns that you've played with your friends.
Which is funny because anybody who's been a DM has been doing that for years anyway.
Yeah, but now you can make it official. Are you familiar, John, with the story I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream by Harlan Ellison?
Yes, I am, actually.
Are you familiar with the mid-90s computer game based off of the story?
Vaguely. I remember seeing it. I do not remember playing it.
Well, your chance is coming up. This is coming up as is happening as a mobile game on iOS and Android.
You may have to give it a go.
Something else is coming out soon, in February no less, Five Nights at Freddy's RPG.
I heard about that.
I was never a huge fan of the Five Nights at Freddy franchise, so...
For what it is, it's a pretty scary game.
Well, it's a game entirely based on jump scares. That's all it is. You know, there's
It's a
not
game
much...
entirely based on the idea of what if you were stuck in Chuck E. Cheese overnight and the puppets were actively trying to kill you.
Again, it's literally a game based on it's designed for jump scares. That's all it is. So I'm not greatly impressed by it because you know going into it there's going to be jump scares and it's a time wasting resource management game with jump scares. That's all it is. So I wasn't greatly impressed with it, but I'm glad it is an RPG. I'm wondering how they're going to fit that element in there.
I'm going to take a moment to bring up David Bowie again.
Why?
Because he has made one appearance in a video game. It is called Omicron the Nomad Soul.
I remember Omicron.
In honor of this appearance, and in reverence to the man's recent passing, Square Enix is allowing everybody to download the game for free up to the 22nd this Friday. So if you want one more experience with Ziggy Stardust, you got it. Also from the past, John Romero has released the very first level of Doom that he has designed in 21 years.
Damn.
Made available to download, too, if you want to play it now.
And it's done.
Joker Jesus pops up at the weirdest points on this show. Do you want to know how I got these scars? Some Roman took some nails and rammed them right into my wrist.
Eat of my flesh.
Tell me, man, can you put me up for the night? Anyway.
God. Yeah, I'm going to hell for these, but I don't care.
Yeah. You can now download the soundtrack for the first Rock Band game onto Rock Band 4 for the PS4. And Nintendo has announced that they'll be releasing their very first mobile game in March.
What are we getting?
Hmm?
Do you know what game they're releasing?
I didn't catch that, no.
I swear to God, if Nintendo was smart, the first game they release on mobile is a social media Pokemon game.
Won't say that's stupid, just say it makes me not want to play it. But I was never a Pokemon fan.
You know, I know they're releasing something kind of like Ingress for that, but again, you got to buy peripherals and whatnot. It's like, no, just release an Ingress-style Pokemon game that works on GPS and have fun with it. Let us go explore.
Time for comic book news. Jixie, contain your excitement.
They're clearly looking at something more important on their phone.
Marvel is up to shenanigans again. Remember about this time last year, John? They were teasing the Secret Wars stuff?
Yeah.
They've started again with a couple of weird slogans that popped up within 2 days of each other. The first one simply saying, "Dead no more," and the second one saying, "Best beware my sting." No one has the slightest clue what they're talking about.
That is weird.
My guess is they're bringing back the Wasp.
Huzzah!
Meanwhile, in DC Comics, Dick Grayson has now become a member of the Court of Owls, basically Gotham City's homegrown Illuminati, because of course they have one. We'll see where that goes for him. The digital comic from DC, Arrow Dark Archer, is confirmed will be about the origin of the character of Merlin, which, as we said last week, is being written by John Barrowman, along with his sister, Carol Barrowman. NBM, one of the most popular publishers of graphic novels in the comic book business, is celebrating their 40th anniversary with a brand new logo. Because, okay. Here's some Star Wars news that might actually interest Jixie some.
Oh.
I'm listening.
Who watched Star Wars The Force Awakens and thought, Poe Dameron is awesome, too bad there's not more of him?
Anybody with a functioning sexual organ?
Oh, Poe.
I mean, I thought the graphic novels that Lucas released. I think.
Well, Marvel has confirmed they are doing an ongoing series, Star Wars Poe Dameron, being written by Charles Soule with art by Phil Noto.
Ooh, that should be sexy.
For those who don't know, Phil Noto is this excellent artist who has this like 60s movie poster style. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the all-female Avengers comic A-Force is getting a new creative team, starting with the second story arc of Kelly Thompson and Ben Caldwell. And finally, Marvel has revealed that for Free Comic Book Day, it will be previewing Civil War II and introduce the brand new Wasp.
Well, that would explain the previous cryptic things.
No, I don't know. We'll see. Time for some science.
Science!
Stephen Hawking has once again rocked the physics world by declaring that it's possible black holes have hairs. Basically electromagnetic strands that actually hold on to data, though whether or not the data survives the event horizon of the black hole is still up in the air.
Yep, right up until we fly some bitch into one of them.
We don't know what happens. Hell, when you throw something into a black hole, time stops the event horizon. So even though in the mind's eye of the pilot, things will still continue, to us it would just be frozen.
Yep.
Physics. Meanwhile, we have found evidence that the Arctic may have been inhabited by mankind 45,000 years ago. I think roughly 10,000, give or take, years sooner than we thought.
Yeah, but every time we dig a little deeper, we find out that we're just a little bit older and a little bit more dispersed.
Yep. Also, we fucked a lot.
Okay.
To quote the great Jackie Gleason, those people, they got roots like an oak tree. But us people, we got roots like a radish.
Hey, we already know for a fact that we were already having sex with our genetic competitors.
True. Because you know what they say? You can't outfight them, breed them out.
Yeah. A museum has recently put up the remains of the... We have something with this name. The Titanosaur.
Wow.
Yes, big old sexy beast.
Yeah, there's a Titanosaur. Oh god, that should be the next Jurassic Park movie.
Why? It was an herbivore.
I don't care.
Oh no, it's going to eat all the grass!
If Jurassic Park has taught us anything, they don't either.
True.
And finally, for science, we have been looking recently at what may be ice volcanoes on Pluto.
Ooh, sexy. I'm surprised they can take their eyes off Uranus.
Hey-o!
We're still looking for evidence of sex muppets there, sir.
We're not looking. We know they're there. We're just none of us are adult enough to watch the footage.
Fuck, caught me off guard. Yeah.
That's how Sex Muppets work, Jixie.
That's how it is.
I'm gonna
God,
come!
And on to miscellaneous. For those of you who are upset because there's been a considerable lack of Ray figures, boy, are the toy companies making up for that. Ray figures out the wazoo of all shapes and sizes, including one incredibly detailed one with a lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. Big old sexy beasties. Mm-hmm.
Looking for proof that Marvel may not be paying its fictional characters enough, the police are on the search for two Deadpools who were involved in a botched ATM heist. Comes
They didn't even have a good Deadpool.
Spider-Man robbing banks.
Come on, people. It's Deadpool. Deadpool doesn't rob ATMs.
After reading an article about this, I must recommend Anna Faris is unqualified. Her new podcast that you can download on iTunes or whatever your podcast listening device is, as the episode apparently most recently recorded because it's not on the list yet, is the one where she actually interviews Jennifer Lawrence for the newest movie she's in, where her love interest is Chris Pratt. It is the first time either of them had to do a love scene, which is movie speak for sex scene.
Mm.
And not only does she interview Jennifer Lawrence about this, she also calls she also has her husband Chris Pratt call in during the interview, as well as Aubrey Plaza, who played his wife on Parks and Recreation. I'm not going to go into the details I know about this. I'm just going to say this should be listened to.
It's one of those things like, I wonder who's more embarrassed. Jennifer Lawrence for having to deal with all this, or Chris Pratt knowing that his wife has set all these women that have fictionally slept with him. It's like getting all of your exes into a room and then having them discuss about various dalliances.
I'm going to assume Jennifer Lawrence because something tells me Chris Pratt knew what he was getting into when he married Anna Faris.
Probably so.
Also, speaking of things that are just adorable, somebody has drawn a series of pictures called Wookie the Chew.
This is not a new thing. I don't know why everybody's getting excited about this. I've been seeing Wookie the Chew for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been talking about this comic for about 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
Okay, I absolutely love the adaptation and everything that it is, and I've tried to tell everybody about this. It's fantastic that you're finally getting to enjoy what is an amazing graphic novel.
I was going to say, Evan, I'm pretty sure I've shown that to you at least 2 or 3 years ago.
I don't remember it, which is kind of sad because it's adorable.
Well, I mean, it's
and much less heartbreaking than the Ben comic.
True.
Hey guys, Deadpool.
Yes.
A fan has taken the footage from the trailers and re-edited it to turn it into a romance movie.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this campaign.
It's about a cancer survivor who refuses to leave his woman.
Also, another fan-made film gives us the fight we didn't know we've been looking for versus Lobo and the DC Undead.
I have not watched that one. I will have to watch that because that is fucking epic.
Wait.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't want to watch it to see how he wins. Ash is probably the only character the only character in all of fiction who's more unbeatable than Batman. The only difference is it ain't because of skill or intelligence.
Oh my god. I officially want Bruce Campbell to do that one Halloween. I want him to be at Bat Ash.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Ugh. It would be so awesome.
I'm Bat Ash. I'm good Ash. I'm Bat Ash. You're goody little two shoes.
Why don't you do it?
Shoes.
Oh God.
Good, bad. I'm the one with the utility belt.
It looks like your head's gonna explode, Evan.
So much awesome.
Yeah.
I think this is the best idea we've had on the show since I mentioned the 1966 Batman style Tick series. Oh.
Bruce Campbell, if you ever watch, make it happen.
Yes, please.
Speaking of ridiculous things from the 60s, John, do you remember the infamous Rainbow Batman comic?
Oh, God. Yes, I remember Rainbow Batman.
Well, a series of action figures are being made based off of the Rainbow Batman costumes.
Well, now I know what I'm buying my brothers for Christmas this year. Pink Batman!
I am the terror. I am the night.
And I accessorize. Oh, well.
Makes me want to see Broheim Joker. Yeah, dude.
No. Because if we're going to do
What
Joker,
about these scars?
we have to do Blaxploitation Joker.
Hey, Cracker.
Big
Wonder how
green
I-
afro.
He saw and I had to put extra space to suck anyway.
No, it should be Samuel L. Jackson. You wanna know how I got these scars, motherfucker?
Oh, my God. Bat
Where
Ash.
does he get those motherfucking toys?
Again. Bat Ash versus Jules Joker.
Oh God.
Dance with the devil in the pale of moonlight.
You know what this means, though? Neil Patrick Harris has to be the Riddler.
Oh God.
I'd watch that.
I missed that. Who's the Riddler?
Neil Patrick Harris.
Okay. Patton Oswalt as the Penguin.
No, because as awesome as that would be,
Oh God.
Neil Patrick Harris has to be. I'm sorry, not that, but Pat Oswalt has to be the ventriloquist. Oh no! Wait! No! He has to be the toy maker. He has to be the toy maker.
The Toy Maker.
Yeah, I was
Toy
thinking
Maker.
more
Toy Maker's not Batman. Well, I'm thinking Toy Man, but since when is there a
Come on, Patton Oswalt as Toy Man.
Yes,
With the
but
big
he's short,
head.
chubby, and funny. Who
Yeah,
else
I
you gonna
know.
do short, chubby, and funny to be the Penguin?
But the problem with Patton
Well, you can also
Oswalt,
make a really good Commissioner Gordon. That'd be
the problem with Patton Oswalt, he doesn't do pompous really well, and you have to be able to do
just
pompous.
Commissioner Gordon.
No, not as Commissioner Gordon. Maybe Harvey
come
Bullock.
on, I couldn't give two shits attitude that he does so well as Commissioner Gordon. That'd be awesome. So remember earlier, John, you mentioned Danny Trejo's a vegetarian?
Yeah.
Well, if you find yourself in La Brea, pretty soon you can eat at his vegetarian taco restaurant, Trejo's Tacos.
Yeah, vegan. Not even vegetarian. Vegan.
I didn't write that right then. And finally, if after all the crap that has happened this week from all the people we love dying, there is something that can make you feel a little better. And highly recommend you put it on your profile.
Oh yeah, the pole dancing Deadpool.
Yes.
The fact that he's a chunky Deadpool and he's got fucking moves.
Knows how to work that pole.
Like watching me put on a Deadpool outfit and dance on a pole. I don't need to put it on my profile.
I don't know why my favorite bit is the part where he strokes the pole.
He kind of waves down, sticks the ass out. So good.
It's just
Whoever made that, thank you.
if If you watch that GIF and you don't smile, you have no soul. It's simple as
I laughed hysterically. It was a great thing.
See, that just makes me want to go buy a Deadpool outfit and go to one of the local open call amateur night stripper nights and do that.
Oh, please.
See,
This is my last High Class Geek news.
what?
My birthday's this Thursday. I'll be 34 on the next episode.
So?
So, I was a 3-year-old. What I'm saying is, John, do you want video of the spankings I'm going to be getting at the stage at Legends?
Not particularly, but you're going to send them to me
The
anyway.
girls are apparently very anxious.
Again, I don't particularly want them, but you're going to send them
Yeah,
anyway.
Well, I just want to see if any of them can get a reaction out of me. My friend Bev is really anxious to volunteer.
Well, if nothing else, have somebody do a live cast, and we'll put it up on the website.
Oh, God. Until then, we will see you next week as we do every week, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so that we can bring you the funny talking about the news that you ignore the news that's actually important. I'm Evan Ransom. I have been joined by the Dwarficon, that is John Little.
Yo.
And everybody's favorite geek couple, Jixie.
Peace out, yo.
Bye.
With brief appearances, of course, by these sex puppets from Uranus.
And Keekers.
Yeah, and finally, Death, please stop. Just stop. Can we please keep some of my childhood for the next week?
That'd be nice.
Seriously. Yeah. Ugh.